What's going on, everyone? It's Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. This is our PGA DFS Sleeper Show for the 2021 WGC Match Play Sleepers, Cinderella Stories, Bracket Busters, wherever you want to call them. We're going 8,000 and less on DraftKings for this show. It's a little bit different from our normal week, but these are guys who we think can get out of their groups.
Yeah, not quite as much depth below 7,500 like we usually have.
No, when you have the top 64 players in the world, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Quickly, Honda, 2 of 6 made cuts, 2 top 20s. John Haas, Steve Stricker, Item, Craig, 0 for 3. Big donut over there for you.
Yeah, well, that's why you got to watch the Wednesday night show. I talked about Zach Johnson. I talked about Matt Jones. 3 in the 6Ks. It didn't work out as expected.
Didn't work out. You're going to make it up this week.
I
feel like you got some good ones here. Okay. Jumping into Match Play, we have our preview out. Go check that out for Match Play 101, all that kind of good stuff. We have our picks out. That's 8,000 and above. But reminder, we're hammering it home. Do not roster golfers from the same group. You will not have an optimal lineup that way in DFS. You can't have 6 golfers and 2 of them in the same group.
Yeah. And I mean, just to be clear, we mean in the same lineup. Like, I'm going to be putting multiple golfers
Totally.
from the same group in different lineups, but you need to make sure your golfers can advance out of their groups. And so, yep, for sure.
Build that bracket narrative.
Yep. All right, good to go. Jump into the sleepers here below 8,000. Who's your first one?
Let's do that. I got Scottie Scheffler here. First one, 7,900 on DraftKings. He ranks 25th there. It's a little bit more expensive than his ranking. So he's in Xander's group. Xander's 6. We have Jason Day as well and Andy Sullivan. Xander's playing well, 1.88 strokes gained the last 3 months. Scottie Scheffler's 1.84, Day 1.11. But I like Scheffler as getting out of this group. I feel like he's an ascending talent, and that is proven in these kind of larger, higher class field tournaments. His 2020, 2021 major WGC record. I don't think it's fair for these young guys to go past that. That's pre-COVID. That's, they're just kind of getting from the corn fairy from then. So
if you don't think it's fair, then.
I don't think it's fair. So last 5 events, the majors or WCCs, he has 5 top 26s and 2 top 5s. That's the PGA Championship and the WGC Championship at the concession. Pretty good record when you're going against the best in the world. Another reason I love him, University of Texas alumni. I mean, I think it's the Go Horns newspaper, whatever it is. There's an article there.
Hook 'em horns?
Hook 'em horns. He's played this course hundreds of times. He said he hasn't played it in tournament condition, but I like the fact that he, as a first timer to this event, he has tons of course knowledge of the city, everything like that. So something we're adding for our sleepers, datagolf.com has their group win percentage. So the percent probability they will advance out of their group. For Scottie Scheffler, 27.9%. And I like those odds.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things to like. I think he's one of the better, if not, close to the top odds of people who are not the favorite in their group to advance out. So, they definitely like him. I like him as well. I would say we have not seen a lot of match play from him. So, the major and the WGC record, those are strong field events. But we still need to see whether he can handle match play. It's a whole different beast. But he's so talented. I like his chances.
Yeah.
Okay, my first one. Speaking of guys who... Well, no, we have seen match play from. So Abraham Ancer. My other guys we haven't seen match play from, but Abe Ancer we do have some history with. He's 7,700 on DraftKings, 29th in pricing. So match play history, he has a single WGC match play under his belt. He went 2-1, did not advance out of his group, still at 2-1. And then 2019 President's Cup. This is when he infamously said he wanted to take on Tiger. And as Tiger said, he got what he wanted. So he's got a single loss to Tiger. He did make it close. It was a close match, though. I just think so. It's a group to me that it's a little bit, it's a whole bunch of unknowns when it comes to match play.
Yeah.
So no one in this group has ever advanced out of group play. So it's not like we have, say in the group we were just talking about, Jason Day, he's a 2-time winner. So even if he's not in the form he was back in 2016, he's still, he's an old dog with the tricks to be able to play match play.
Yeah.
Hovland is a supreme talent. Don't get me wrong. I love Hovland as a talent, but this is his first WGC match play. So, there's a lot of things that come into play.
For sure.
I also think Streelman's not someone to be slept on, but they're giving Abe Ancer a 28.2% chance of advancing. I think he's been playing well of recent. I think he is someone whose game suits the match play format. He's got a good short game. He's a good putter. So yeah, I like him as a sleeper at 7,700.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Ancer before the pools came out, and then I saw that he's with Hovland. Hovland, obviously, one of my picks in our pick show, so I kind of do take offense to that, but I will also build.
I actually just. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll build some lineups and narratives where Ancer, I think has a good chance to get out of this group as well.
Well, and for sure, and I'm going to have lineups with Hovland, and I'm going to have lineups with Ancer. It's just not going to be in the same ones,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, next one up.
Next one, I know I'm sticking at the top here. I got someone way down below later on, but I'm going Corey Conners, 7,800 on DraftKings, 27th. Again, kind of speding up to where he's ranked. He's ranked 37th. This group is super interesting to me. We got Matt Fitzpatrick, we got Matthew Wolff, who knows what Matthew Wolff is going to show up, Corey Conners, and Jordan Spieth, who's ranked last of these, but has the best odds when you look at the group winning in terms of kind of the outright winning odds. It's a very interesting group. I think people will love to roster Jordan Spieth. I think people might go to Matt Fitzpatrick just because of savviness, his experience, short game, putting, all that good stuff. But I don't think you can sleep on Corey Conners. He has a pretty great history with match play. 2014 USM runner-up, beat Scheffler, beat John Rahm, and Denny McCarthy, three pretty good pros. 2013 USM, he was a semi-finalist, so got to the Final Four. He beat Bryson on the way and also beat Patrick Rogers on the way. So Corey Conners can definitely hang match play.
Yeah, I think the one thing to note about that, just real quick, because so I think obviously the Rahm win to me, so of the 2014 ones, Scheffler would have been fairly early in his career. So it's not like he beat Scheffler and he beat Rahm and those guys were all at the same points. I think Conners and Rahm both would have been out a year or two earlier than Scheffler. And similar with Bryson, that would have been an earlier, like Bryson won it, I want to say in 2015. So this is a couple years before he was his peak amateur status. But still, nonetheless, he's beat some big names in match play in the amateur ranks.
And even like if that is like that memory you have gives you a little bit of false confidence that you can carry into true confidence.
False confidence is great.
Yeah, fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
He's playing super, super well recently. Positive stroke seen in 26 of his last 29 rounds. If you look at his history, like he is just playing off the charts right now. Like he is going to the moon. I'm going with Corey Conners with an upside over Fitzpatrick and Spieth. His group win on Data Golf is 27.9%. I really like it.
Yeah, I really like it too. I think that, I really like Conners out of this group. I think that this group is as close to a toss-up as any of them. I don't know, I haven't built my player pool yet, so I don't know. I might end up with different ones with Spieth or Fitzpatrick or Conners.
Oh, for sure.
But I definitely like Conners. Like I think I essentially give those guys fairly similar chances, and Conners is the cheapest one. So roll with it,
Yeah.
Okay, my next one here, I am going now to guys who we don't have match play experience from. Max Homa, 7,400. He's 35th most expensive. Again, we have a group that does not have a lot of guys that have ever done this. So we've got 3 first-timers in this group, and Horschel has never advanced out of the group stage. So to me, it just it makes it feel like it's wide open. Now, over the past 3 months, he actually has been better than Morikawa. Obviously, Morikawa has the win at the other WGC at the workday. But to me, Morikawa's game, Morikawa could show up and win this whole tournament for sure. Yeah. Like, we know how good of a ball striker he is. But his putting is so inconsistent. You have that round that he seems to have had at tournaments of recent that's, a 4 over par round or something. That's going to knock you out of the match play. To me, it's just his putting is such a huge hinge on what happens in this group. Now, that said, I also think Horschel, I think this is a very strong group with the top 3. I think Homa, Horschel, and Morikawa, I think all have fairly good chances. JT Posner, I put just a touch behind him. His game, though, he is a good putter, which means that he will be a hard beat for anyone. Homa has a 22% chance, so we are starting to get, we've gone down from the higher sevens down to the mid to low sevens. We're getting guys that are longer shots to make it out of their group. 22%. I like it. It's somewhere between it's just under a quarter, but I like it. I think that if he does get out of his group, he'll face whoever gets out of that Hovland Ancer group. So you could end up getting all the way to the quarterfinals. Say Ancer gets out of that one, or even Hovland. Yeah. Like Hovland doesn't have a ton of match play experience outside of amateur competition. So you could get to the quarterfinals till you're facing someone who has won this or made it to the semis before, and that can just be a huge advantage.
Yeah, and that's why the 2021 is so much different than, because we missed the 2020 and we have all these phenom rookies or sophomores on the tour. Morikawa, Homa, 2 Cal Bears. I know that I was just watching Golf Channel. They played a couple matches before the WGC at concession. Apparently they're 1-1. So this is the tiebreaker. I mean, Homa can hang and definitely upset it.
Yeah, and he's a good putter, which to me, I think that's kind of the secret sauce of match play. If you can, if Morikawa hits it better than you all day, but you drop a few putts and it upsets the balance a little bit,
Totally. Get a couple on him early and then, whew.
Yeah. Okay, last sleeper. Who you got?
Last sleeper here. I'm going pretty much near the bottom with Sebastián Muñoz, 6,100 on DraftKings. He ranks 61st there. So he's in a pretty big boy group here. He's got Jon Rahm, that is an ultra favorite to advance out of here. Ryan Palmer, Shane Lowry. The thing with Muñoz, though, is A, he fits in a ton of people in your lineup if you want to fit him in. But B, he's just streaky. And if you can get lucky with a David versus Goliath situation, who knows? So at Austin Country Club, the last 4 years, at least 2 players 50-plus ranking or higher have made it to the round of 16. So these upsets are going to happen. And I say at least 2. It's been 2, 3, 2, and 3. So we've had 3 some years. We've had 2 other years, but at least 2. So we know these upsets are going to happen. And Muñoz is streaky. So we talk about this on our Showdown video quite a bit, but the gaining over 2 strokes gained total, that's on the field. This is in 2021. He's done that 9 of 24 rounds. So if he can catch Rahm early Wednesday and have a huge upset then, he could kind of make his way into the 16s here. That would be a shocking thing. His group win percentage, I mean, we're talking about $6,100 golfer in DraftKings here. It's lower. It's 17.8%. But he still has a chance. He could easily be a Cinderella story here. We don't have a ton of match play experience, but I just have kind of that weird feeling about Muñoz potentially playing spoiler here and upsetting a lot of brackets.
Yeah, I feel personally insulted because I picked Rahm as my top pick. No, I agree. I think that's another thing to keep an eye on. So if Muñoz does advance out of this, a ton of people are going to have their whole thing flipped because they spent up on Rahm and now their whole thing has gone sideways. I do think he can be so streaky good. I just have a hard time seeing Rahm lose this. But this is exactly why he's 6,100 and why he's a sleeper and not a favorite. You can knock off a big boy like Rahm and it totally upends the whole thing.
The other thing I was looking at is, I mean, the golfer profile here is all over the place. We've seen Kevin Kisner go to the finals twice. He has kind of a similar profile, not as good as putter. It'd be nice if if he had a hot putting day, then absolutely. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm going as far as them having a similar profile. I think Muñoz is a bit more of a long hitter, ball striker, but it's a stretch.
I'm building the narrative, all right?
Someone who I do think might have a more similar profile to Kisner, and in one of your favorites groups, Talor Gooch. He's 6,600. He's 51st. Now, so to me, again, this group is a tough one. If he can make it out of this group, he's done well for what you paid for him. He's got Webb Simpson. He's got Paul Casey. He's got Mackenzie Hughes and Talor Gooch. last one in the group, but he has been playing well over the last 3 months. And now I do realize I forgot to update those ranks there, but he would fulfill the narrative of the 50-plus golfer as well. So if we do need one of those, I nominate Gooch as the potential candidate.
Hey, we're gonna get two. We're gonna get two.
Yes. So the thing is, though, I think similar to Rahm, I think Casey is going to carry a lot of ownership. I think that.
Yes.
I mean, Webb maybe less so, but I think Webb obviously will still have ownership. I think Casey's going to have a lot. Like, he's probably a lot of people's favorite for someone who is not the pool A person to advance out of the group. So if Gooch does advance, he's going to eliminate a lot of ownership. So if you take a couple shots on him, it's just the chance that it upends the apple cart. Why do I think it's possible? So similar, I think. So one of the things Kisner does very well, he's a good putter, he's good short game, he's accurate. I think Gooch does a lot of those things. He's been a plus putter for 4 straight years. He's over 0.3 putting the last 2 years, in both of the last 2 years. It feels like the type of player who can outperform what they do in stroke play in a match play format. And Data Golf has them advancing out of the group. It's just over 20%. It's 21.6%. So to me, this is a group that it's not as wide open maybe as the Fitzpatrick, Connors, Spieth group, but I still think that there is a lot of potential big upset here.
Yeah. And I wasn't sure how to treat these guys that are coming off the Honda, but Gooch played well on Sunday. I mean, maybe it's just kind of like, you don't even have to think about it. You don't really have much of a practice. You just go out to the course on Wednesday and you just carry over. You have momentum from a good round on Sunday, while a lot of the field is taking time off, kind of has the tournament mode. That might be interesting. I'm not sure how to stack those Honda guys yet.
No, me neither. And the other thing, he had one bad round at Honda. So what does that do, to his confidence? But I just think what we see from him, like when we're spending 6,600 in this kind of field, there's going to be flaws, So I just think if he shows up with his good game, he can upset. He can get out of this group. He'll have a tough road to the quarters.
Oh yeah.
Like he if he gets out of this group, he would face whoever comes out of the
European group.
The Matt Wallace, Lee Westwood, Sergio Garcia, Terrell Hatton group. So he'll have a tough group. He'll have a tough win out of there. And then I think if the reward after all that would be the DJ, if DJ makes it through. So it's not an easy road. It's just, if it happens, it's going to upset a lot of brackets.
You got to find those Cinderellas. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure to subscribe to our channel. Hit that thumbs up button. We have a ton of different content coming out. So hit the bell, the notification bell, because we got new videos coming in the next couple of days. Wednesday starts, so make sure you get all your lineups in before Wednesday.
Yep. Good luck, guys. We'll see you next time.